Hello! Thanks for joining me. It's Nico Iona, back with another pick an object this time, tarot reading. If any of these resonate with you right away, be rest assured there's probably a really good message in here for you. If nothing's really jumping out at you right away, don't worry about it. I'm going to go into a little intro, but if something did, I'm going to put some clickable timestamps in the description box, in the YouTube description box down below, and you can click on one of those. It'll take you right to the reading. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and describe the three objects I've picked here. If you haven't done it before, it's real easy, simple. You're going to take a look at these three things. In this case, we got Liza Minnelli, lawn flamingo, and a sugar skull painting that I did a few years ago. Just take a look at them. If anything rings a bell, that's your item. No need to really think about it too much further. And I'm just going to go ahead and give just a general collective energy reading for each object. So, with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start with Liza over here. Move these. Liza Minnelli. This got passed down to me, and without contest, probably my favorite piece of art that I own. Definitely, she's definitely soul sister. Love her work. All right, well, there's your first card. Let's see what's going on here so far. Well, dang. Okay, so first of all, we got the Five of Swords here in reverse. I'm using this Super Lunas Tarot deck. It's very beautiful. Complex paintings here. I'm going to give you kind of a closer look at it. So, the Five of Swords is all about conflict, right? So this coming out in the reverse right away, I can tell you that there's been a conflict that made you really uncomfortable, but it's most likely just happened, or it's something that happened a little while ago and it's still really bothering you. Kind of like an open dishonor sort of a thing. Conflict, there was a confrontation, yep, you see with the Page of Wands here. Definitely, see how he's breathing fire out of his mouth? There was that's just confirmation for me, there was definitely a confrontation that happened. That you might be stewing on, bothering you. So that time is over, but it's just like kind of like replaying it in your mind, maybe, and dwelling on it, I guess you could say. Let's see. Oh, and because of past, so Three of Swords in reverse. So because of past deep emotional pain, this is probably sticking with you a little more than it should, or. I mean, I don't want to say if it should, because everything is kind of meant to make you feel a certain way in that moment. But what I'm seeing is, with this upside down Three of Swords, it's like it's because of past trauma or past deep feelings that is making this everyday conflict, or seemingly everyday conflict, really stand out. And the message here is to take the opportunity to let that lesson not be as big of a deal, if possible, as cold as that might kind of sound. What else? All right. So we got the Unrequited Love card and Unreliability. Wow. So basically it looks like right here, with the littlest thing. So we got this Unrequited Love with the Ace of Cups in reverse, and then the King of Pentacles upside down, which completely represents somebody just completely letting you down. And traditionally speaking, this is the king, so this is a man completely letting you down in some way, in a major way, actually, not just completely dropping you on your ass, for lack of a better way to put it. So what I'm seeing here, and I'm not in the business of doing love readings or anything, but it's looking an awful lot like you might be trying to move on to new pastures, new things, to connect with somebody new, and you're probably on a very short fuse, like a hair trigger, when it comes to the littlest thing, and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna pack up and get out right now because this is a red flag. This is a warning sign, and it could even be just like a fraction of a reminder of this heartbreak that you experienced in the past with this conflict. And it might even be a conflict in your head because you're getting really creative with how you've interpreted this encounter, whatever it was. Let me pull a few more cards to expand on this. I'm just seeing it's time to slow down for sure and try to separate past trauma from current situations that might not be a repeat. So it's kind of a message to, yes, recognize patterns, but okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay, it looks like it was, yeah, I mean, this was a man doing this to a woman, most likely, with the Empress card coming out here, and in this card, she's pregnant. So it's like you didn't have to necessarily be abandoned while you were pregnant. That might be the case for some of you, that's causing this huge trigger, but this Ten of Cups upside down just shows like a break in a family, so it looks like a divorce. Something like that deeply injured you, and it looks like this conflict. I want to know more about this conflict, please. Ooh, that's too many. That's too many. The Tower came out. Showed itself to me. All right, so the Tower peeking its head out there just means it kind of rearranged the way you feel about the world and you feel about other people and your trust for other people, being a complete breakdown of the way you view the world and relationships and people's integrity in general. So that's like a broken family situation. But I want to know more about this current feeling and solutions and, what to do next. Read a little bit more into that. So peeking its head out, the King of Swords. You need to use your logical, masculine part of your brain, left brain thinking, not so much going off of feelings, because you have to remember there's trauma interlaced in there with this reading. It doesn't mean that just because somebody really let you down in the past doesn't mean that everyone's like that. And that's a really nasty merry-go-round a lot of us can get hooked into sometimes. So that's becoming a very clear message so far. But let me just pull a few more. Yep. Six of Swords, moving on, completely dropping that past. So the message here is if you're hanging on to something, and you might not even realize it because it might be deep-seated in your unconscious mind or your subconscious. It's just warping everything that you come into contact with into this pattern. And it's just like this is Page of Pentacles upside down. It's just the secret to moving on, moving forward, and letting positive relationships and being able to trust people again come into your life. You need to squelch that negative thinking pattern as soon as you feel it coming up into your brain, is the message there. That's kind of the advice that the cards are giving you right now. And I just kind of want to clarify, like, maybe incoming stuff, like conflicts, is it okay to trust that? Okay, so we got the High Priestess card that flew out there for you, and that's to trust your intuition. So it's more like use your logical mind with that King of Swords poking out earlier, to just kind of review the situation, I mean, I know it's hard because sometimes emotionally it's like, this situation made me feel this way emotionally, and now I'm butthurt about it and I'm going to react. But the message here is just saying, like, look at logically what the actual facts were and maybe go off of that more than a hair trigger feeling. But you're also going to know with that High Priestess there what you're projecting and what you're not. So this reading is going pretty deep. It's asking you to unpack past trauma through the method of not applying it to your current situations. And that's kind of maybe a boring message, but it's going to greatly behoove you to apply just your past experiences in the way of compartmentalizing them in the past, instead of you're not in survival mode anymore. You see what I'm saying? It's sort of like you kind of gotta, like they say, that saying goes, even though you've been betrayed or hurt or left in the dust, you have to kind of go into every new situation as though nothing happened to you, as difficult as that can be sometimes. That's not saying don't put all your defenses down, but it's just like the message of don't jump to conclusions in new situations, whether that be love, work, acquaintances, friends, anything. So let's just get one more. Yeah. Oh man, it's a star in the reverse and then the lovers in reverse. So it's just saying don't lose hope in love for most of you. That's the message. I was saying business and friends, and it just kind of like popped out to be like, okay, whoever chose this Liza, it's just don't lose hope in love. Don't give up on love is basically that thing. Just because maybe somebody didn't choose you that you really thought was your match, it doesn't mean that somebody else isn't going to come in and be that person for you. So I'm going to pull one more oracle card. This is a spirit animal deck, Peacock. Yes, see? Going forward with, I haven't used this deck in a little while, so I'm just going to pull a little takeaway from it. Don't go anywhere, Liza. I said takeaway, and she's like running for the hills. Peacock. She's hiding. I called her out. That's Liza's spirit animal, is a peacock. So, all right, you're going through some sweeping changes, which is basically from the reading opening your heart, right? So you have to let yourself die that no longer serves you. So it's just like if you've been holding on to somebody or a past situation or something, even if you thought it was really deep or spiritual or like, oh my gosh, this is a spiritual connection, it's just like if it's been years and you're waiting around for somebody, the message is to definitely let that go. I mean, some people aren't ready to hear that, but if you're watching this right now, you probably are. So yeah, clairvoyance, clear vision. There could have been things definitely muddling your vision because of those patterns. So it's saying look out for signs coming in. If you can leave the past in the past and open your heart up to new relationships and new beginnings, the message here is definitely that's going to be to your benefit. It's just like it sounds like you're ready to do that and leave whatever you were waiting for that hasn't been coming through for you forever behind and make that new switch. Hop on that new path and go. Leave all the rest of it behind. That's the best advice there with the peacock and Liza. She should really have like a peacock veil or something. I would pay to see that one. I bet you she's still able to do it. So there's Liza. All right. Moving on to Mr. Lawn Flamingo over here. If you chose the Lawn Flamingo, here we go. Let's get you some cards. This is actually a hoop toss game. Found in my daughter's room. I think I've used this one before. It's a repeat, but I don't mean to blow myself in. I'm good at doing that, though. All right. Lawn Flamingo. Okay. What's your first one? The Lovers. Right side up. First out of the gate. Pretty nice. So, could mean the obvious meaning. You could be falling in love. Or the traditional Hermetic meaning is the choice between two paths. So, let's see what else you got going on here, Flamingos. Okay, Page of Cups, not expressing innocent feelings. All right, got a little blockage in your throat chakra, which tells me you're going to have these chakra cards in a second, too. Okay, let's see. Not expressing emotions with the Lovers, in pair with the Lovers. Okay, give me a little more to go off of. Okay, woo, Death. Transitions. Okay, new beginnings, transitions, not expressing innocent emotions, and the Lovers. Choice between two paths. So, easy does it, one step at a time with the Knight of Pentacles. I'm going to pull a chakra thing here too. So it's like things are moving slow in your life right now, it looks like. You're kind of like wondering whether to stay or go in a situation. So it doesn't necessarily have to be love, because this card is definitely all about the choice of two paths and polarities. It's just like completely, it's like a fork in the road ahead of you. If this is a love reading for some of you, which it could be. And again, I said this in the last one, I'm just like, I'm not in the business of doing love readings at all. I mean, I've learned to use the tarot in a completely different way. So, but it's funny because the Lovers popped out in both readings, so maybe it is a love reading, I don't know. But You've got the choice between two paths. Let me spit it out here. Somebody in this situation is not expressing their genuine emotions, is what this is saying. It's just like somebody's kind of hiding stuff here. See her? She's just like super innocent and new. It's like young love kind of an energy. You don't have to be young for this energy to be in you right now. But it's just like with this upside down, this reverse, somebody's just not being transparent with their feelings. And that's because of the death card, which is all about transition. It's really not the worst card in the deck at all. I mean, look at the imagery on this one. It's really pretty. It's like forest fire, then the new growth afterward, right? So it's so interesting. It's like the same messages coming out as last time, but I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of variance. And then the Knight of Pentacles, we got this like step-by-step kind of energy, just sort of a slow but steady wins the race kind of a deal. So let's see if we can expand on this a little bit. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, nice. All right, so this is your feminine side being the ultimate provider in this situation, just taking everything on with the rest of these cards yourself, and always taking care of everything. So it's almost like a step-by-step, taking it slow sort of a message right here. And that's really positive. So even if it isn't about love for you necessarily, if you chose this flamingo, it could be just like I'm slowing down, I'm making decisions in a more organized way instead of impulsively jumping on every little thing with these two pentacles in a row here. So let's see if we can expand on that a little bit. Perfect. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So this is interesting. Going off of this energy, it's saying you don't have to do everything alone. I mean, it's kind of like I just said, going off of what I just said, being used to having to bridge that gap all by yourself all the time, because it's just like, oh, everybody else falls short, right? So I have to be the one to constantly carry it and make those ends meet and make sure everybody's comfortable and happy and all of this other stuff. But it's just saying, take this message right now. I mean, I'm getting this as the major point, the takeaway. This is what I'm hearing, is you don't have to do it all by yourself. It's just delegate, assign duties to other people, and do not feel bad about that. That's your biggest thing right now. Especially, and it goes into a couple different categories, but if it's in love, it's like, you know, if that person, here we go, those flipped over in there. If that person that you're dealing with, in no matter what category it is, hold them accountable for their next move. It doesn't matter. I mean, think about what happens if you don't bridge that gap. Come up with your backup plan, and usually that backup plan is going to be more convenient than if they were to answer and do what they were supposed to do. I mean, the universe has an interesting way of working those things out with the Ace of Pentacles right here. So it's just like, you're going to be handed that opportunity, and even though it looks like an inconvenience and a detour, every time you get an inconvenience, you just look at it and say, cool, how does that make my path smoother? And that's a hard thing to learn, and it causes, you know, a lot of uncertainty and a lot of feelings of instability. But when you get deterred and it's a nuisance or whatever, it's just like, just slow down and realize that that's probably helping you. And it's kind of like that whole going with the flow mentality, because you can fight it and you can sit there and be pissed and then attract more energy, negative energy toward you, or, you know, you can go ahead and it's just, you know, use good judgment with that judgment upside down, because your decision to get mad about something when it inconveniences you or there's an obstacle is only creating another obstacle with the domino effect. So that's really interesting. It's kind of like learning how to deprogram yourself to fix the problem every time and realize whose move it is to do that. You know, I hope that made sense. All right. I'm just gonna read all of those. Yeah, okay. So that feels like a stalemate. It's just like either way I have a difficult decision to make. And then it won't be over anyway. And I'm trying to figure out what to do. Do I water this crop or that one? And it's almost like a guilt of what's going to bring me the most pleasure and what's the most utilitarian or for the greater good. Okay. So let me recap that. So it was basically like you feel like you're in a stalemate here as far as like spoon feeding stuff to people. And if you don't do it, what's going to happen? Like the cycle will just continue, and you feel like you're in this spot of just like, do I leave this behind and tend to this new thing or not? And you're just worried about like not getting any happiness either way is basically what the energy reads right there. So again, I'm just going to repeat myself. I can tell you right now, it's just all about if the ball is in the other person's court, that's their deal. And you just need to use your rational mind to recognize that. It's just like, don't make any unnecessary moves. It's just like if someone isn't matching your energy, all you have to do is just stop or pull back, and that'll tell you everything you need to know. Period. So I hope that's clear as mud so far. 5 of Wands. Okay, healthy competition. So it's just like, right. Again, so it's just like, from everything I said before, this is all about you being rational and giving other people healthy competition, if that makes sense. So it's just kind of like, you don't need to be smaller or anything else. I mean, it's just like everybody's playing on a level playing field, and it's not like I'm saying be sneaky or anything. This is all about being out in the open. So it's just like, this is what's fair. I don't need to squelch myself or make myself smaller or, cater to you. It's just like, look, man, I'm sitting here and, I gave you the fair amount, and now it's time for you to be pragmatic and do your part. Period. So no stalemate about that. Just use your logical mind. Perseverance. So, right, it's just like you just want to give up and quit because you feel like you're just exhausted, and it's about her shedding her carrot cloak here, and that's also the sacral chakra. So it's just like, holy cow. It's just like I feel like I've performed for the whole world, and they didn't even notice. But that's just a message of it's just like sometimes the longest roads come out with the greatest reward, and you can just step back and look at that. So it's just like, don't just throw your cloak on the floor. Is all that saying. It's like you're at this stalemate, like I lose either way, and it's just like, no, you don't. It's just the only way you lose is if you put out more energy than is deserved. So let's get one more. Flipped. Impasse. What did I just say? So this is just a confirmation. This impasse card is all about being, detoured on a route, and it's all about accepting that detour as the better option. So it's just like, I have a great example. My mom was just visiting recently, and she wasn't able to go on this horseback ride that she had planned forever, and it was just like, there's this crazy series of events, like lock the keys in the car, all of this crap happened, and all I could say to her, it was my first thought, was just like, Mom, you could have, she broke her toe the day before, so to me that was obvious. It was just like, you're gonna get hurt. You're in your 70s, you're gonna get hurt, something's gonna happen to you. To her, it wasn't obvious though. So it was just like an impasse, and I mean, it's just like, this doesn't completely correlate, but this always comes in my mind. Rejection is protection, or a detour is, your rightful path. It's the one that's going to be easier for you, even though it seems like, oh my gosh, how inconvenient and how horrible that I got taken off the path that I wanted. But it's just, trust me, there's a spiritual team. If you resonate with this, you do. If you don't, and you're actually watching this, you're going to see this is very true. You get protected a lot, and sometimes that looks like a disappointment, but oh my gosh, sometimes light will shed on that situation, and you'll be like, whoa, thank goodness I didn't get my cookie and, you know, my head would have gotten cut off or whatever if I got it. That's a terrible analogy, but you see what I'm saying. So that's going to be it for the flamingos. Yeah, I need another break. There's a lot of practice. All right, here we are. On to the sugar skull. The shadow art. What's all that? Sugar skull. It's time if you chose the sugar skull. Boy, have I got a message for you. All right. Ooh, there's a little stack here. We got to mix that in. Okay, the sugar skull. Doesn't that just have a way of showing up just everywhere? There we go. Stay. There we go. All right, so if you chose the sugar skull, let's see. Nope. Taking his time coming out. There we go. Six of Cups in reverse. All right. Recognition, soul recognition in the reverse. Can you expand on that, please? Emperor in the reverse. Okay, so someone, it looks like a broken soul contract here. Very clearly with the Six of Cups and the Emperor in reverse. Look, we got the Court in reverse. Six of Cups in reverse. Something did not go the way you planned with some sort of soulmate. All right. What else? It's amazing how they all have a way of connecting. No matter what you picked, you're pretty much in for the same message so far. I mean, a little variance for sure. So, I mean, it's not a waste of time to pick your one. The Hermit upside down. Okay. Depending on inner guidance, soul contracts not working out the way you thought. Hermit in reverse, depending on other people's opinions. What else? Four of Cups, being completely dissatisfied. No, thank you. I do not want to play anymore. So you're fed up or disappointed with someone in your life. Let's expand on that right now. Sugar skulls. Fed up or disappointed with somebody. Oh. The Empress in reverse. This could mean infidelity a lot of the time. That's the traditional meaning. When the Empress is in reverse. Oh, wait. What happened? No, she was... Oh, right. Reverse to you, but right side up. This is the second time she's come out. And look, she looks really similar to these two. So we've got this... We've got... They both came out upside down. But we've got... It's like she's pregnant and then not. Right? Interesting. Unreliability again. Whoa. Okay, so there's a definite message across the board here, and they're seeming to match up. It's just like somebody let you down. Period. I mean, and it's like the heart is hanging on, but all logical reason says go. Like, I mean, don't even pay any attention. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. You know, it broke you in all ways. I mean, it's really a devastating kind of message. It's just like broke you spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and financially. God, gross. Moving on, trying to move on. It's like the same cards keep coming out. It's just like you could just watch this message straight through and just get the same response. So it's just like somebody let you down. It's done. You need to find out a way to move forward. It's like the knight in shining armor is not coming. Look, King of Pentacles in reverse. The staple, the textbook definition of unreliability. It's just like you have been let down in some major way. And you're fed up. Look at her. No thank you. No thank you to everything. The Devil. Okay, so it's going to be the warning card here. It's going to be very, very tempting to fall into old patterns and old addictions right now. Our brains get addicted to certain cycles where even if that cycle lets you down, that adrenaline rush is what you get addicted to. So it's just like, and you could be falling into anything: shopping, eating, sex, drugs, whatever, you name it. So it's just like it's falling into those lower level behaviors. With this Hermit upside down too, that also reiterates it for me. It's just like not doing well alone. And it's just like there's something to be figured out here. That's the current lesson. Rough message, Sugar Skulls. Ten of Swords. Betrayal. Feeling betrayed. But here's the thing. Yep. Ace of Cups in the upright. So it's just like you have to connect to that base part of yourself where you know you're safe. And it's just until you can learn to be your own best friend, those betrayals are going to affect you in a way that completely throw your life off course. Until you can learn to trust yourself. And this is not an easy, I'm not trying to be on a soapbox saying this at all. It's just like, until you have that safe space within yourself where you can sit down and feel completely safe and provided for because everything that you need brought to the table, you've brought yourself, you're going to continue to be completely burned down by external factors. That's kind of a basic message. It's just like no matter what is going on, if things are going well with other people, if they're going bad with other people, it doesn't really matter. It's just got to come down to that base part in yourself where it's like when I come home at the end of the day, even if you don't have a home, even if you're like couch surfing, it's just like this is your home, and you know that you can trust that and you can be stable with that. It's a message of being so stable within yourself and believing in yourself so much that it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of you, and you're able to, like this soul contract that didn't come through, this person that you thought always had your back and they just let you down, that's the lesson. It doesn't matter. Again, with that King of Pentacles in reverse, unreliability through other people. It's just like until it doesn't matter to you, they're going to keep on being unreliable is the universal message there. And I mean, I know that because I've been through it, and that's totally okay. It's like you always come up with that plan B to be okay by yourself, and then everything else is a bonus, is your main message. Let's pull like two more maybe. Fool. Yeah. So it's just like, okay, so again, it's just like going out and not considering the consequences. And that's that whole relying on others thing. It's just like, yes, put the opportunity out there for them to come up or come through for you, but if they don't, make sure you have a plan B. It's just like, don't continue the foolish journey of that. It's just like, get out of that stalemate energy of what do I do? It's just like the clear message is, what do? Well, you make sure you're covered. Worst case scenario, you can do it by yourself. You can lift that thing up by yourself. You can, you can go into that appointment by yourself. You can get yourself there. What's the bus route? I don't have a car. Figure it out. Can you call an Uber? Can you get a bus? It's just like, it's backup plan. It's just, hello. You can't rely on other people. That's the main message here. Trust no one. All right, what else? Stay focused. Persistence. Again, more repeat messages. We had the perseverance in the last one. Persistence and stay focused. It's just like, what is your main goal? That's not dependent on the actions of others. It's just not. That can't be your first priority anymore. Stop it. It's, what do you want? Create the life that you want and make sure that you can meet that goal whether no one shows up or not. It's just like, you sent out 20 invitations, nobody shows up. Are you going to still have a good time? Yes. That's the message here. We got two more. Go now, and you can do it. Okay, so whoever this is for, it's a take action now message. And this came out in the reverse, so it's just like your blockage here is not believing that you can. And it's just like, think about it in 3 more ways. Actually, yes, absolutely you can. So there's the Ascended Masters. You got Archangel Michael and Serapis Bey. I have no idea who that is. I'm going to have to look him up. Go now. So it's make that plan of action now. Sugar Skull. Go now. You got the power within you. You got the power. You got it. All right, until next time. Thanks for watching.